Hi everyone and welcome back. This is your place for powerful stories, where learning English feels like watching a movie, reading a letter, or living someone else's life for just a moment. Today, we're stepping behind the curtain of Hollywood. Not just to meet the actor you recognize, but to discover the person you've never truly known. This is the story of Leonardo DiCaprio, more than a star, more than a name. His journey is filled with quiet struggles, deep passion, and choices that shaped a life beyond the spotlight. It's not just about the red carpets or golden trophies. It's about the fight to stay true to yourself when the whole world is watching. So listen closely. This story isn't just here to teach you English. It's here to move you, to inspire you, and to remind you that every word has a heart behind it. Let's begin. Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles, California. His parents, George DiCaprio, a comic book artist, and Ermeline, a legal secretary, divorced when Leo was just a year old. Raised by his mother, he spent most of his childhood in the rough neighborhoods of East Hollywood. Their apartment was tiny, and the streets outside were often littered with crime, drugs, and broken dreams. But Ermeline never let those surroundings define her son. Every day, she took young Leo to auditions across LA using public transport. At just 5 years old, he had a brief appearance on Romper Room, but was fired for being disruptive. Most would have quit. Not Leo. Story insight. In school, Leo was often mocked for his name and his looks. But he told his mother one night, "I want to be an actor, Mom. Not just on commercials, in the movies." She held his hand and whispered, "Then you'll have to fight for it." As a teen, Leo was rejected over 100 times for roles. Casting directors thought his name was too foreign. One agent even suggested he change it to Lenny Williams. But Leo refused. He said, "If I have to change who I am to make it, I don't deserve to." Eventually, he landed minor roles in TV shows like Parenthood and Growing Pains. Even then, his talent was unmistakable. He would arrive hours early on set, memorize everyone's lines, and ask the crew questions about lighting and direction. Story insight. One night, after another rejection, Leo sat on the rooftop of their apartment. His mother joined him. "Maybe I'm just not good enough," he sighed. Ermeline said, "You're not here to be good enough. You're here to be unforgettable." In 1993, Robert De Niro handpicked Leo from hundreds of young actors to star alongside him in this boy's life. Leo was just 18. It was a role that demanded emotional depth, as he played a boy suffering under an abusive stepfather. He poured his soul into the part. Critics praised his rawness. Hollywood took notice. That same year, he played a mentally challenged boy in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, earning his first Academy Award nomination at 19. Story insight. On set, Leo refused a body double. He insisted on learning everything himself: the behaviors, speech patterns, physicality. His co-star Johnny Depp later said, "I knew then he was going to be a phenomenon." Titanic. A role that would make him the most recognizable face on Earth. But what many don't know is that Leo almost didn't take the role. He thought Jack Dawson was too conventional. Director James Cameron had to convince him, "Make the character yours." The film shattered records. Overnight, DiCaprio became a heartthrob, idolized, adored, and overwhelmed. He hated the fame. "People screamed when they saw me. I wasn't ready for that," he said. Story insight. Leo told a friend, "I wanted to be known for acting, not posters in teenage bedrooms." He turned down blockbusters and focused on films that challenged him. In the 2000s, Leo began working with directors like Martin Scorsese, redefining his image with Gangs of New York, The Aviator, and The Departed. Each role tested his range, from obsessive entrepreneur Howard Hughes to undercover cop Billy Costigan. Behind the scenes, he was meticulous. He learned to fly for The Aviator. He trained with FBI agents for Catch Me If You Can. He risked injury performing stunts in Inception. Story insight. During The Revenant, he slept in animal carcasses, ate raw liver, and endured freezing temperatures. When asked why, he said, "Because I want the audience to feel what my character feels. That's my job." For years, Leonardo DiCaprio was Hollywood's Oscar-less king. Despite multiple nominations, he was overlooked again and again. The world joked about it, memes flooded the internet. But Leo remained silent. He focused on craft, not trophies. Story insight. After losing another Oscar, a reporter asked, "Are you disappointed?" Leo simply replied, "Acting is not about validation. It's about telling the truth." Finally, in 2016, after more than 2 decades of iconic performances, Leo won the Academy Award for The Revenant. He used his speech not to celebrate, but to talk about climate change. Leonardo didn't just stop at acting. He became one of the world's most influential environmental activists. He founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation in 1998, raising over $100 million for conservation efforts. From producing documentaries like Before the Flood to speaking at the UN, he used his fame as a force for good. Story insight. Once, while scuba diving in the Galapagos Islands, he witnessed a mass die-off of coral reefs. That day, he pledged to spend his life fighting for the planet. Leonardo DiCaprio is now more than a movie star. He's a symbol of artistic integrity, persistence, and global responsibility. He has worked with nearly every legendary director, constantly reinventing himself with films like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Killers of the Flower Moon. Despite his fame, Leo never forgot where he came from. He once said, "The kid in me who lived in a tiny apartment, dreaming of being in movies, still lives in me. He keeps me honest." Final story insight. On the 20th anniversary of Titanic, a fan asked him, "What's your proudest moment?" He paused and replied, "That I never gave up. Not after 100 rejections. Not after the fame. Not after the failures. That I stayed true to the dream." Leonardo DiCaprio's journey through cinema is not just a series of films. It's a story of evolution, risk, reinvention, and artistic excellence. This timeline captures the milestones of his legendary career, spotlighting the roles and awards that have made him one of the greatest actors of all time. 1991, Critters 3. DiCaprio's film debut in a low-budget sci-fi horror. An unremarkable movie, but a humble start that taught him discipline. 1993, This Boy's Life. Breakout role alongside Robert De Niro. As a rebellious teen in an abusive household, Leo proved his emotional depth. 1993, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. A critically acclaimed performance as Arnie Grape, a mentally disabled boy. Nomination, Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, 1994. He was only 19 and already one of the most talked about young actors in Hollywood. 1995, The Basketball Diaries. A haunting portrayal of teenage drug addiction. It was a risk and a statement that Leo wouldn't be typecast. 1996, Romeo and Juliet. A modern retelling of Shakespeare. Stylish, romantic, and edgy, DiCaprio became a teen icon worldwide. 1997, Titanic. Playing Jack Dawson made him a global sensation. Box office, $2.2 billion worldwide. Despite its success, he wasn't nominated for an Oscar, a point of early controversy. 1998, The Man in the Iron Mask. Dual roles as royal twins. Critically mixed, but a commercial success that tested his range. 2000, The Beach. A psychological thriller set in Thailand. Though critically panned, it showed Leo's desire to move away from heartthrob roles. 2002, Catch Me If You Can. With Steven Spielberg directing, Leo brought charm and soul to con artist Frank Abagnale Jr. 2002, Gangs of New York. First collaboration with Martin Scorsese. Leo transformed into an Irish immigrant fighting for survival. 2004, The Aviator. As aviation mogul Howard Hughes, Leo delivered one of his most demanding performances. Win, Golden Globe, Best Actor. Nomination, Academy Award for Best Actor. 2006, The Departed. A psychological crime thriller with Scorsese again. Leo played an undercover cop on the edge of sanity. The film won Best Picture, but Leo was controversially snubbed for a nomination. 2006, Blood Diamond. As a diamond smuggler in war-torn Sierra Leone, DiCaprio's accent and intensity earned widespread praise. Nomination, Academy Award for Best Actor. 2008, Revolutionary Road. Reuniting with Kate Winslet, he portrayed a man caught in a decaying marriage and lost dreams. 2010, Shutter Island. A mind-bending thriller with another Scorsese team-up. Leo played a U.S. Marshal battling his own trauma. 2010, Inception. Directed by Christopher Nolan, Leo starred as a thief of dreams in a cerebral action epic. Box office: over $800 million worldwide. 2011, J. Edgar. As J. Edgar Hoover, he displayed aging, power, secrecy, and internal torment in a bold biographical performance. 2013, The Great Gatsby. As the enigmatic Jay Gatsby, DiCaprio gave a performance full of longing and elegance. 2013, The Wolf of Wall Street. Unleashed as Jordan Belfort in this chaotic, comedic crime biopic. Win, Golden Globe, Best Actor. Nomination, Academy Award, Best Actor. 2015, The Revenant. An epic of survival and vengeance. DiCaprio endured real physical challenges to portray frontiersman Hugh Glass. Win, Academy Award, Best Actor. Win, BAFTA, Golden Globe, Critics' Choice. After 6 previous nominations, Leo finally won the Oscar, ending years of memes, debates, and anticipation. 2019, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. As fading actor Rick Dalton, Leo gave one of his most heartfelt, humorous, and vulnerable performances. Nomination, Academy Award, Best Actor. Win, Critics' Choice Award. 2021, Don't Look Up. Playing a scientist warning of global catastrophe, Leo offered satire mixed with sincerity. Nomination, Golden Globe, Best Actor, Comedy/Musical. 2023, Killers of the Flower Moon. Reuniting with Scorsese and Robert De Niro, Leo starred in this powerful true story about betrayal and greed against the Osage Nation. Nomination, Academy Award, Best Actor. Leonardo DiCaprio's major awards summary. Academy Awards, Oscars. 1 win, The Revenant. 7 nominations. Golden Globes. 3 wins, The Aviator, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant. 13 nominations. BAFTA Awards. 1 win, The Revenant. 5 nominations. Screen Actors Guild Awards, SAG. 1 win, The Revenant. Multiple nominations for ensemble and individual roles. Critics' Choice Awards. Multiple wins for Inception, The Revenant, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Few figures in Hollywood can claim to have shaped cinema, culture, and conscience the way Leonardo DiCaprio has. More than just a performer, he is a symbol of persistence, precision, and purpose. As of today, his legacy is defined not only by his iconic roles and long-awaited Oscar, but by a commitment to the craft, the planet, and the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. Leonardo DiCaprio never settled. While others cashed in on fame, he vanished into characters, each one a challenge, a transformation. He risked career burnout post-Titanic, refusing to fall into typecasting. Instead, he dove into intense, emotionally charged roles. He sought out directors who demanded greatness. Scorsese, Nolan, Tarantino, Spielberg, Inarritu. He didn't just perform, he evolved with them. From Howard Hughes' descent into madness, to Jordan Belfort's manic greed, to Hugh Glass's brutal survival, Leo consistently embraced suffering to serve authenticity. His performances are not decorated, they are immersed, unpolished, real. DiCaprio's multi-decade collaboration with Martin Scorsese echoes the legendary De Niro-Scorsese duo. In each project, from Gangs of New York to The Departed, Shutter Island, and Killers of the Flower Moon, Leo became the emotional engine of Scorsese's stories. He didn't just act in those films, he co-authored the emotional language. Their bond helped usher in a new era of psychological cinema, where moral ambiguity and human frailty took center stage. In 1998, DiCaprio established the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, long before climate activism became fashionable. His mission: protect the planet's last wild places. He's produced climate documentaries like Before the Flood and Ice on Fire. He's spoken at the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, pressing for real climate action. He donated millions to conservation, oceans, indigenous rights, and rewilding projects. Hollywood stars often speak. Leo acts. In silence, in dollars, in urgency. Unlike many of his contemporaries, DiCaprio never built his image on invincibility. His characters fail, cry, break down, scream, unravel. He humanized masculinity in a way that felt revolutionary. And despite being one of the most desired men on the planet, he resisted commercial endorsements, superhero franchises, and safe bets. He chose art over marketing. His films rarely follow Hollywood's formula, but audiences show up. His name alone has become a mark of quality. When Leonardo DiCaprio finally won his Oscar in 2016, the room stood still. Not because the world didn't know he deserved it, but because the weight was symbolic. It represented the triumph of perseverance over politics, the value of patience in a world obsessed with instant reward, the acknowledgement of an artist who had long since proven his worth. And what did Leo do? He didn't bask in the glory. He used his acceptance speech to plead for environmental justice. That night, a golden trophy became a golden moment for the planet. Why he's a legend, in simple words. Because he gave everything for his characters, often losing himself in the process. Because he turned the art of film into a tool for truth. Because he stood for the planet when many stayed silent. Because he made failure, madness, and vulnerability heroic. Because he never took shortcuts, even when he could. Leonardo DiCaprio is more than an actor. He is a storyteller of human pain, a guardian of the earth, and a beacon for cinematic excellence. His name, once synonymous with teen heartthrob, now resonates with legacy, depth, and a rare kind of moral clarity. He reminds us that true greatness doesn't arrive suddenly. It's built, role by role, choice by choice, fight by fight. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't just act. He changed cinema. And he's not done yet. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share.